down with Jack Alexander of Jack Alexander and Associates. He's an author who's written a good deal on business performance. And Jack, you'll be presenting tomorrow, but let me just ask regarding your talk. When it comes to better focusing analytics, what's important? What are some of the steps companies should take?
Great question, Jack. I find that a lot of companies have, over the years, focused on what's easy to measure and a lot of financial and operational metrics at the expense of not really focusing in on the important stuff. And especially in this day and age with the pace of change, I've identified 5 areas that companies really need to go after. One is the ability to innovate. The second is agility. Since we can't plan, forecast, and predict the future, we have to create an agile enterprise. Another one is execution. Underneath all that is human capital management. What are some measures we can put in place to understand the dynamics of the workforce, whether we've got the right team on the field, how we can orchestrate all that will lead to the 5th measure around value creation.
What's happening out there? What's with performance management today? What's really different?
Jack, I've seen, because of the economy and all the changes that we've been going through over the last 12 months in particular, that people are really cutting to the chase and focusing in on a couple of areas. First of all, cash is king, and people need to retain cash, they need to generate cash, and so that's a focal point, and there's a lot of directed efforts in performance management to improving cash flow. And the second area is related to that. It's business visibility. So it was much easier to plan and forecast 18 months ago, 2 years ago. Now most of those have been thrown out the window within a couple of weeks of the plan. So a lot more emphasis in planning and understanding what the performance drivers are, in setting up performance management systems that will track performance and give you more of a heads up, a little higher run as to how far off the plan you will be in executing different scenarios of the plan.
What is it? You're often will say, let's focus more on improving, not necessarily measuring. What are you getting at?
But Jack, it's funny. Sometimes we get enamored with performance measurement as opposed to performance management, and I think it's important to think of it very broadly. But I've seen a lot of organizations that fall into the trap of doing a great job with dashboarding and scorecarding, but they forget that the fundamental objective is to improve performance. So we have to put in place the tools as part of performance management to assess the current performance right now with benchmarking and with internal process assessments, and then put the tools in place to really improve the performance. Classic process improvement, improving collections and accounts receivable, that type of thing. Then finally the dashboards help you understand what the drivers are and track your progress on those initiatives that will lead to the enhanced performance, improved performance in the future.
You're fond of the phrase high impact dashboards. What exactly are we talking about here? Are there average dashboards and high impact dashboards? Jack, what's a high impact dashboard?
I think there are all different levels of effectiveness when you come to dashboarding and the visual presentation and of course the content that's on the dashboard. But I keep coming back to the image of the instrument panel in the space shuttle, which I like to look at and really helps me focus on what the key elements of performance management and effective dashboardings are. One is there's just tremendous visual impact looking across that instrument panel. So you don't have to spend weeks or days going through different levels of information. It's all there, and the pilot can quickly scan the instrument panel and see whether or not the performance of the plane is where it needs to be or make adjustments if necessary. The second thing is a whole lot of time and taxpayer money went into making sure that the right measures, the important measures, are on that instrument panel. So that pilot has the confidence to look at that and understand that these are really the things that I need to monitor. There's not extraneous things or measures that should not be in there. Another great example is that it's real time. So it's not the case of a pilot getting a 30-page Excel report after the plane has landed. He's getting information in real time that allows him to adjust the course. And finally, one of the mistakes we make sometimes in performance management is thinking that we can replace management, intuition, and judgment. And really, even in that cockpit of an airplane or the space shuttle, the pilot still has to exercise and fly based on his intuition, experience, and judgment, and he's really using those tools to improve his ability to do that.
Jack Alexander, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jack.